Insert pithy joke about having done way too many MCU speculation episodes almost in a row. Yeah, so a couple weeks or so back I did a whole ass episode about sussing out where I thought the next phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe was going big storyline, overarching, narrative-wise, regarding clues that might connect the plots of WandaVision and Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness with unreconciled plot threads from the previous films and several famous comic book storylines from a decade or so ago. I thought at the time that would be the end of the clue hunting and speculating until there was new stuff to actually watch, but then I noticed a thing and suddenly a bunch of maybe could-be stuff clicked into place about the Eternals and Shang-Chi, so here we go again.
Comics are weird!
So nobody has really gone on the record about what the Eternals is supposed to be about, other than the Eternals themselves, who are ancient superhumans originating on Earth, but then mainly operating in the cosmic plane after that, whose origins are tied to godlike aliens interfering in the evolution of humanity.
I'm not hallucinating. It's happening.
We have to go now. We need to save the world.
The Horde will cleanse this galaxy of the disease called life. No!
We serve life. We guard the earth. We preserve and we maintain.
Who are you?
We are Eternals.
More precisely, no one has nailed down why this obscure, never really popular, esoteric hard sell of a property is getting a prime release spot in Angelina Jolie on the marquee. Well, I think it might be this. The one thing that is seemingly confirmed is that at least part of the film takes place millions of years or more in the past, without trying to fully explain the Eternals comics, because we'll just have to do it again later anyway, and it's very confusing.
Thousands of years ago, before the dawn of man as we knew him, there was...
Basically, the reason they're still kicking around in the comics despite never having been popular is because their origins were big idea enough that it became an easy fix to retcon a lot of different where did this come from stuff in the Marvel Universe to be connected to them, including the Inhumans, the various actual gods, I think even the mutants are in there now. Oh, Thanos technically is an Eternal himself, but who knows if that's even going to come up.
Where did that bring you? Back to me.
Anyway, the relevant thing is they're older than human history. The main crew that's starring in the movie come and go from Earth over the centuries, but at a certain point they have to come back and get actively involved in the Marvel superhero bullshit in the present because someone uncovers and starts mucking with their ancient alien stuff. Oh, there's also bad ones called deviants, but we're moving on. So, the subtitle to Shang-Chi, Shang-Chi is a guy who does kung fu. He does kung fu extremely well, and that's pretty much it, thank God.
What do you think?
I think it's lunchtime.
We have a winner!
Is Legend of the Ten Rings. Now, in the MCU, the Ten Rings refers to the terrorist group that kidnaps Tony Stark in the first Iron Man, but the name Ten Rings was an Easter egg referring to Iron Man's problematically, culturally insensitive comic book nemesis, the Mandarin, an evil Chinese science wizard whose powers come from his 10 magical rings. He wears one on each finger, each has its own scary superpower. Bookmark that for a couple minutes from now. A version of the Mandarin was revealed to be a hoax in Iron Man 3, which, by the way, is still like my favorite twist of this entire whole thing, and I love that character, and I really hope Trevor comes back at some point.
They approached me about the role, and they knew about the drugs.
What did they say? They'd get you off them?
Said they'd give me more. Look around you, costumes, green screen. Honestly, I wasn't on location for half of this stuff. When I was, it was movie magic love.
But a DVD-exclusive short subject about that character later implied that a real Mandarin did in fact control the MCU Ten Rings and was still at large, and now Hong Kong superstar Tony Leung Chiu-wai has signed to play that Mandarin as the villain of Shang-Chi, likely because Shang-Chi's original comic book gimmick of having the classic pulp character Dr. Fu Manchu as both his father and arch-nemesis is something they can't do anymore, both because of copyrights lapsing and also because racism.
Of course, in your hands, these things will be merely interesting archaeological specimens to go into the British Museum. But should Fu Manchu put that mask across his wicked eyes and take that scimitar into his bony, cruel hands, all Asia rises. He'll declare himself Genghis Khan come to life again, and he'll lead hundreds of millions of men to sweep the world. And that, my friend, is what you have got to prevent. You must find that grave.
What does that have to do with the Eternals? Well, in the comics, the Mandarin isn't actually a wizard, and the Ten Rings aren't magic. They're ancient but super advanced alien technology.
A bolt of unknown energy seared my lungs and surged into my brains. My mind exploded, my strength growing with every breath. The path to predestined greatness was now clear before me. I knew what I had to do. Mystic gems from an alien world. Through their power, I was reborn as the Mandarin.
Yeah, so that version, that comes from the 90s Iron Man cartoon, which was, if you've never seen it, definitely a little bit extra. Say, how many of the ancient alien Eternals are in the principal cast of The Eternals? 10. There are 10 of them.
Ah, that's it, the number 10! Ha ha!
I'm a 10.
Oh, finally, the tension is broken.
So, assuming the Mandarin did name the 10 rings after his 10 actual rings, do the rings belong to the Eternals, maybe? Did they lose them? Are they looking for them? Are they themselves the rings somehow? And regardless of the answer, does that mean that these are going to be this decade of Marvel movies' version of the Infinity Stones for everyone to chase around and pretend like they matter? Well, I sure as hell don't know, and I'm way over my time, so I guess we'll all find out. I'm Bob, and that's The Big Picture.